Emmanuel, God is with us. Emmanuel, God is with us. I just want to show you something I was able to get from Baker's Creek. These are sweet potato purple Molokai, and this is the way they sent them to me. These slips are so beautiful. They have a nice rooting system on them. They look like little plants, actually. And if you look over here, it states that these sweet potatoes can be grown in just about all of North America because they have a relatively short growing season. Wait until chance of frost has passed to move plants into the ground. They like a sandy loam but can handle harder clay. They like a neutral to fairly acidic soil and full sun. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you I have experience growing these. I have grown these in shady areas where it was warm, and they do just fine. They flower. So when they say full sun, they're saying 6 hours. You can grow Molokai purple sweet potatoes with 5 hours of sun. They are just as resilient about the sun factor as a let me see. They are just as resilient about the sun factor as a pumpkin is, but they don't take nearly as much effort from you. So they're really good, and once you establish them in my area, they do not require additional watering from me. So if and most areas have more water than me, but if you don't water them because they develop that root, they will survive the summer and do just fine. So if you're in an area where you have rain and hot summers and stuff like that, these come from Japan. So I just wanted to let you know, if you feel like it's too cool for you to grow sweet potatoes, these sweet potatoes do fine and next to the ocean in Southern California, where it is in the 50 degrees at night and 70 degrees in the daytime. If you give them more heat, you can get big, huge potatoes. If you don't have a whole lot of heat, you can get tubers, which are thin potatoes, but they are still very, very delicious, and you will enjoy them as a food source. I am going to put them into my berry patch and grow them alongside of my boysenberries in my area that I don't maintain because they're just a really, really easy plant. And I'm going to put one in a pot and grow that out that way. So I'm not, the one in the pot I'm not really growing for sweet potatoes, even though I probably will get sweet potatoes from it. But I'm just putting it in the pot because I like to have some rooting crops in my pots because they're so large, and I use the root crops instead of rocks in the bottom of the pot. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do, and I just want to tell you about it. And let's get going. Big day because I finally get a spiller out of this pot, and these do flower. So this is gonna be permanent in this pot, and I'm just gonna tuck it over here. Oh, we got stuff come. Oh my goodness, I got stuff growing under. Oh Lord, what did I just lose? Oh, that's my bad. No biggie. Okay, so let me just go ahead, tuck the sweet potato in there. What did I lose? Okay, this is a okra plant. It wasn't enough light for it, so it came up and passed. But we won't make that mistake twice. So I'm trying to dig a little hole here. See that hole? And stick that in there. There you go, girly girl. And see, this can peek out. So that was not a good place for my second okra there. But my other okra came up fine, so I don't know which one didn't make it. Oh well. So it's that easy. Put my little sweet potato vine in the pot. It's a baby, so when they're little like that, they shouldn't trip off of the fact that it's not a whole lot of sun and heat, but as, you know, this is my squash, and that'll be fruiting and moving out. That is my bean plant. Same thing is happening with those. They'll be fruiting and moving out. But then my okra will take center stage in this pot. And the yam will just grow as it pleases. Here we are. This is my berry patch. This is an area that I just pulled. It grows grass in the wintertime, which I then use as the mulch for my berries, which are fruiting now. But berries are a very easy crop to interplant. But you see, this grass grows very freely. And sweet potatoes are in the morning glory family. So it is right now late in the day, and I probably should have gloves on because there are definitely brambles here. And what I'm doing is just digging a hole. And this is just rocks, guys. There's nothing here but rocks. I will show you. This is what I'm growing in. So those of you who have soil and you're growing and you look at all my plants and you think, oh yeah, she must have some really good soil. I have what I put on top. But in this little rocky piece here, betwixt this bramble, that bramble, I cut it because it's already fruited. And I'm just going to pull some of these rocks out and plant a sweet potato here. And you're like, well, the sweet potato can't grow in the rocks. Underneath this rocks is God's good earth, okay? So, and the sweet potato is a perennial. It will dig down in there and find Nemo, okay? That's what we're doing here. I couldn't even dig it with that little shovel. But that's why this grass is so important to me, because that is what I grow in. Okay. I dug down, see how deep that is, until I got to some dirt, okay? So that my little Malachi purple sweet potato, which I find to be very, very delicious, and then I'm just going to fill it back up with rocks. So it looks like I'm growing hydroponically, but as you can see at the base, there is soil. So, and you know, this sweet potato is no fool. It's going to go down where the soil is. I'll try to get you a better shot. Let's take a look. Oh, I don't think you can even see it. Let me go in here. I don't know how to get a good angle here. This is some bad footage. Okay. There she is. Yeah. Looking good. And the soil at the bottom was pretty moist. It was moist enough for her to get going. And I'm just going to water her in. And in a week or two, I will add like some more compost and stuff, just a little at a time, so that, you know, because I want the root system to go down. Not, and I want the potatoes to be on top of the rocks. So that's how I'm doing it. Because I just want to practice with one in the ground at a time because of the spot that I wanted. These would have been better for me to plant in the fall because of my location, and then they would already have a deep root system now, so I'm gonna have to baby that other one. So what I'm gonna do is just leave this one in this pot where I'm growing my marigold flowers. Let me make a little spot in here, and I'm gonna just stick the root ball in here and let that just continue to grow out, kind of like a house plant, until my marigolds get ready to transplant. And by that time, I will have been able to get tons of slips from this right here. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing with my 3. And I'm pretty excited. If I had, you know, pre-COVID resources, I would have put a whole bunch of manure and compost where I put my sweet potato, but since I don't have that right now, I gotta just wing it. I finally found a good angle for you. I put a little compost on top of it, and I'm giving her a shower because she's from Japan and she's used to a lot of water. But don't get her wrong, she's a versatile girl. She can move. Okay? And we'll watch her grow right there. Show you what she can do on a bed of rock. Jesus loves you, and I love you with all the Jesus in me. Be blessed, beautiful.